that one day you will know everything that is going on. So they need to build that trust. And that trust is what they want to work on. I don't see any problem. I see that it's a test of who they are. They are hardworking. Nobody game changer for Nigerian economy is Igbo.
All right, good morning, sir. This is KC360 TV, sir. Good morning. So we'd like to have your name, sir.
My name is Afolabi Osho.
All right, Mr. Folabe. Based on what is going on in Lagos State now, that most of the streets that bear Igbo names have been changed to Yoruba name. The popular one is the Charlyboy Bus Stop that was changed to Bado Bus Stop.
Give my head of fish.
The
Do what
Somolu
they
government,
do.
right? That changed
Don't give them 500
Charlyboy
naira.
Bus Stop to Bado Bus Stop. And yesterday was also trending in Twitter
Yeah,
that the Etios local government also published a list of streets that has to do with Igbo names that changed to Yoruba name. What is your reaction as a Yoruba man?
There are two things you cannot change from the will of God.
Okay.
The Igbo has come to
give
the
them
back
500
of
naira.
Lagos. I will cite an example. If you know Otuba Shumuri Balogun and Alex Ekweme,
Huh?
when the Civil War happened, Alex Ekweme's house, he went to King's College, Lagos. He grew up in Lagos. His father worked in Lagos. And at the time when they took the Civil War went,
Head of fish.
the man was not found.
I
Ṣùgbọ́n
don't
Balogun
want
took
my- I
over
don't
his
get money
house
now.
and started running his house. By the time he came back after the Civil War, he paid him the rent. Do you understand? There are still a lot of people that are loyal to Igbos. There are still friends across the Niger. You know, I want to say something. The Igbos and Yoruba are the most foolish tribes in Nigeria. I will say something to you today. And with no impunity, I'm a Yoruba man. And I happen to be that member of my families. I have cross-married from East. I have sisters that are half East Igbo, half Yoruba. Now, this is the problem. There's something called dichotomy. And that is what the East and the South. I don't have a problem with the North. Let the North remain what you want to remain. You know, the Igbos and the Yorubas, they are the ones that flows together in almost everything. Leave all those stories of politicians trying to create a lacuna. Charlyboy Bus Stop is a natural bus stop. I happen to grow in Bagada. If the Charlyboy was living there, let them change it to any name. Charlyboy Bus Stop, everybody knows Charlyboy Bus Stop. But Charlyboy Bus Stop cannot change. If you change the name of a street and you change the name of Balogun Market today, nobody will ever know. They will say, I'm going to Balogun. That's
Like-
what
PNCN is still NEPA.
yes, it's a phenomenon. NEPA is still called to today the name NEPA. That's why all the children that are born as not, they still know NEPA, up NEPA. So what you are saying is that a name is by phenomenon. And the dichotomy between East and the Southern Nigeria is just a political movement. And why am I saying that? Is that the only advice I have for the Southeasterners, and I have two advice, one for Yoruba, one for, you see, the Southeasterners, number one, what they should know. Let me tell you why people are hostile with Southeasterners. The Igbos have not been able to integrate any outsiders in their land. It's very difficult for anybody coming from any part of Nigeria to buy land in the East. In short, Southwest is the most accommodating place. They can allow you to stay in their house.
Yes.
But there's an adage by Yoruba says that you cannot be in my house and not know your father's house. See, that's what they've been able to preach to the Southeasterners. That you can be in my house, but when it gets to a time, I will tell you that you are not from this place. Now, the East can do something. And I believe that two wrongs don't make a right. If they want it right, they should change some policies. You understand?
Sorry, sir, but first and foremost, we are one Nigeria, right? And the Nigeria Constitution allow you and me to be in a particular place within Nigeria, to reside there, do our business, and obey the law of that very location. Now, if I'm trying to understand why will you say is a Yoruba man, is an Igbo man, is an Hausa man?
Let
You
me
also say is a one
let me
Nigerian,
tell
is
you,
a Nigerian.
there's a policy called citizenship policy in Nigeria. It's the biggest error. When you fit your NIM, what did they write about your NIM? Which local government are you
State or
from?
local
Which town
government,
are you from?
yes.
In the US, there's something called like that. There's what we call place of residence. Look, oh, they have to, before this thing can stop, you have to change almost everything to place of residence. You know, the place of residence is the first law that can coordinate bias, that can coordinate problems that are lingering in the country. You know why? It means that if I reside in Lagos, automatically I'm a resident of Lagos. So, but you want to feel business name, which local government are you from? You want to do everything, which native or which place are you from? What you approve is that you approve a dichotomy between the south, between the tribes, with even the estate. Between the south, if I'm not from Agege, I cannot claim Agege. I will go back to Ikorodu that I've not stayed for 20 years and claim Ikorodu. I'm not from Ovim. I cannot claim Aba. I have to go back to Obi. I'm from Bende. I have to go back to Bende. I'm just giving you names of places. So, you see, the dichotomy issue is the first law that will kill everything. It's a policy, but normally it's supposed to be constitutional. The constitution have not been able to address the fundamental truth about that. In the constitution, it says everybody is a Nigerian citizen. Of what does we have a citizenship policy in Nigeria documented against our constitution? There's not like citizenship policy in Nigeria. Go and you have to find out about that. The one that did it, South Africa did it. In South Africa, you are not from any place. You can claim a tribe. That's your own problem. But a South African is a South African. In South Africa, as a matter of fact, you can be a Zulu man speaking a coastal language, and all while you are the Igbo man speaking Yoruba language, you claim Yoruba. You claim Igbo because you are speaking Igbo. This is done in Kenya. This is done in many African countries, and it's very successful. That's why you must have a citizenship policy under your interior ministry. You understand? Interior Ministry of Nigeria determines whoever migrates from one place to another. It's not external migration. And migration is a law that goes with man. So if Igbos are going to have a right here, they too must also respect the culture. Yoruba too must also respect another person. Because what you are trying to do is that you are trying to feel the person left alone.
But Igbos have never for one disrespected in
But you know, there's what we call, if you are taking it from me and you are doing well, you are going to have a problem. Isaac in the Bible had a problem.
I think this problem have to be a political problem because they're not really the politicians were not really happy what happened in 2023 that will be one Lagos state. So they tried to make sure they weaken the power of the Igbos so they will not come out again to vote in 2027. Do you think in that direction that this might be what is trying to play out?
Number one, what you cannot take away, out of the 23 million people living in Lagos projected, at least 35% of the people they are Igbos. You want to get that one? And the economy of the city, when it comes to commercial life, is 60% dominated by the Igbos. It has always been like that. Do you understand what I'm saying now? But what I feel that will happen, that will break the chains, it may not be now, is that there has to be assimilation policy between the Igbos and the Yorubas. I know what I'm talking about. It will happen. It has to happen by cultural sense of assimilating themselves. Do you understand? Usually the politicians will always make you have any advantage to make sure that they achieve their ends. And as a matter of fact, Tinubu wants to come back. Do you understand? And the people who are holding a brief for him in Lagos knows that the only obstacle is the southeastern. So whatever you say, whether you come rain shine, they will try all political gimmicks to satisfy the master. You understand? So if there's anything trying to change the name, you know, I want you to point to any Igbo man to go and read about it. I've made in Aba. And he said something, he said there can never be any Biafra. It can only be Biafra in the mind. That means that an Igbo man who is fighting for a freedom must understand that if he lives in an environment, he knows that people are watching him. What will he do special to be able to live with those people? That's the big question in the heart of everyone. In my conclusion, is that time will tell. And as a matter of fact, I believe the Igbos too have to do something to make sure that other people acquire property in their environment and also migrate into their place. Southeast has not been able to do that. That is the only thing they need to test. They need to test whether they too can allow people to stay in their community. I will tell you the reason why. There are two reasons. You know, the Civil War was a dementia, a juvenile dementia on the Southeasterners. You know why? The Igbos have not been able to prove themselves. You know why? They've not given that space a proving. Port Harcourt has a lot of people. Calabar has a lot of people. But why is it that after Enugu, Anambra, nobody likes to stay there? Abia, partially, outsiders don't stay. They need to do something to make sure that there is mass movement of people into the east. One, two. Secondly, acquisition of their language must be acquired. Igbo language must be acquired as a generic language in Nigeria. After Igbo speaking people, how many people speak Igbo? You understand? That big question is a very big assimilation. When I can speak your language, I can trust you. Do you know why Hausa man is trusted? They have everybody in their space. Everybody speaks Hausa. Everybody speaks Yoruba in Lagos. I know that you speak Yoruba. You see, that thing they know is a soft power. Your language is a soft power. That removes all barriers of life. Then second one, marriage. You understand? People don't want to marry Igbo girls. You know why? They believe that it's too expensive to marry Igbo. There's some barriers. They need to sit down and tell themselves, look, if you are my in-law, I cannot kill you. If I'm very close to you in every relationship, I speak your language, you are my friend, I'm afraid that one day you will know everything that is going on. So they need to build that trust. And that trust is what they want to work on. Me, I don't see any problem. I see that it's a test of who they are. They are hardworking. Nobody game changer for Nigerian economy is Igbo.
All right, sir. I think it's a very